Hulu's Hellraiser 2022 breathes new life into a franchise that desperately needed it. The past 20 years of this franchise have been met with straight-to-DVD garbage sequels that are not worth your time watching. Anything after Hellraiser 4 is just pretty much terrible and unwatchable. I was pleasantly surprised by this new reboot of the Hellraiser franchise. This is the best movie since the original, which definitely is not a high bar to meet, but yet it is still impressive. There's so much to like here with this new film, from Jamie Clayton's badass performance as Pinhead taking over from the iconic villain Doug Bradley, who was just so great as Pinhead.
We'll tear your soul apart.
He is that character, but Jamie Clayton definitely makes it her own. She definitely brings this unique presence to Pinhead. It was a tall task to fill those Doug Bradley shoes, but Jamie Clayton slays. She is phenomenal. Where can I get one of those puzzle boxes? Because I realized after watching this film that I'm into some stuff that I thought I wasn't into. Jamie Clayton, we have some things we might need to talk about. The Cenobites are disgusting as well. This movie is filled with dark imagery with blue hues that fit the eerie vibe that this movie is trying to set. I very much love the way this movie looks. It just looks like dark, gross, eerie nastiness, and I loved it. The budget shows here. It's one of the better looking Hellraiser movies. It doesn't look like it was shot on a potato. This had some production value behind it. The director, David Bruckner, obviously cares about this franchise. He and the writers include some very neat Easter eggs and homages to the original by Clive Barker. Bruckner does a great job at giving us our main character, Riley, who is a very flawed person. She's a recovering drug addict who comes into the possession of the puzzle box that unleashes the Cenobites. Riley isn't the best person. She makes some decisions that I didn't necessarily agree with as an audience member, but yet I did not root for her, but I was still engaged with the story that they were trying to tell with the character that I didn't really like, and that is great storytelling and great writing for our main character. I loved how the Cenobites had time to shine. It wasn't just the Pinhead show, it was the Cenobites and Pinhead show. They all worked as this collective terror, producing pain to anyone who was in the vicinity. It was a nice balance between all the different Cenobites. They all have unique ways to inflict pain and terror on their victims, and it was nice that they were evenly distributed out through the runtime. They all deserved screen time because they all had really cool aspects to them. To a few negatives I had with this movie, I thought this was going to be more of a bloodbath, but it was a little bit more subdued. It felt like they were holding back from more blood and carnage. This felt more thrilling and not scary. I never found myself, thinking of, oh, this wild imagery is gonna haunt me at night. It didn't really, it felt like it just didn't have that oomph that I wanted it to. And I'm not a champion for torture porn. I don't want like this to become Saw 8 or Saw 7 or something. I just wanted a little bit more blood and guts from a movie that's called Hellraiser. Maybe that's just in my mind that I put Hellraiser at a higher pedestal than most movies when it comes to carnage. And I just wanted a little bit more blood, if that's too much to ask. The camera work was also underwhelming. There's a lot of shots that feel flat and have no depth behind them. There's many shots that don't have the interesting movement or motion. There was no shot in particular that made me go, ooh, ah. Everything felt very two-dimensional. And that's surprising coming from the cinematographer of this movie, Eli Bourne. I've seen his work in other films and they are masterful, and I was expecting a little bit more here from him. The side characters here I did not find interesting whatsoever. There was none that gave any really awesome character moments. There's some cool gruesome deaths in here by them, and I get it, they're pretty much here for the body count, but I wish they had a little bit more to them. They just felt very forgettable. I only really remembered the one girl's name, Riley. Everyone else I kind of already forgot about, so they didn't stick to my mind. There was no like awesome side characters that had cool funny one-liners or had any type of depth to their personality. They just felt like meat. And I want more from my horror side characters. I know they're supposed to be, the body count and everything, but you can have some better writing with those characters, make it more interesting, so when they're on screen, I at least, have somewhat enjoyment with them. With all that being said, Hellraiser 2022 is a solid refreshment that the franchise needed. You should definitely check this out on Hulu. I'm gonna give Hellraiser 2022 a 7.5 out of 10. If you are a longtime Hellraiser fan, this is the sequel or reboots you've been waiting for years. You've been tortured and inflicted with pain with all the sequels that have came after pretty much the original trilogy of this film. They all have been laughably bad, so you've got a good one with this one here. Let me know down in the comment section, are you excited for Hellraiser 2022? What's your excitement level? Let me know down in the comments down below. And also make sure you slash that like button and slash that subscribe button so you can watch more videos just like this. And as always, I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.